Hello everybody, and in today's video I'm going to be going over a tier list that I made for this new update that just came out. And how I based this tier list was how good are these rods like overall. So for example, you might question of why in the world is the no life rod above the Sword of Darkness? And to that I say, overall, the rod is more consistent and it has more use than a Sword of Darkness. The Sword of Darkness, right? When you do actually get 3 catches, and that passive is going off for 30 seconds, during that 30 seconds, it's literally one of the best rods in the game. But the problem is that it's such a pain to get it to go off, and it's honestly it's really hard to actually get the 3 catches with the rod. Even with a Herculean or Spooky or whatever, it's genuinely difficult. And for that reason alone, it's not a very good rod. Like, just overall. It's viable because you could potentially get the 3, but then when you actually go through the 30 seconds of using it, it's gone again. So it's like a mediocre rod. So I hope that helps a little bit. So like with the no life rod, it has really strong pierces because it has a pierce in its passive, and then you can put piercing on it again. So you literally can get over, if you use piercing and you use the rod, you get a 55% chance to pierce every time a fish moves. It's just very strong. That's why the Cerulean Fang is so high, and people use it so much, is due to the fact that it has such a high chance to pierce if you're using, like, well, piercing or spooky. Every time there's a movement opportunity, it literally has a 70% chance to pierce between, like, both the passives combined. So, we'll start this thing off. And by mid tier, the Spiritbinder. This is mid because the Bat Whisper does what it does, but better, I believe. The Spiritbinder, I've tried using it a couple times. From what I've seen, it's really annoying to use it just off rip, and the passive that it has, I don't think is very consistent either. It's every 45 seconds you'll get a fish from the pool you're fishing in, and it's literally a worse version of the Bat Whisperer Rod. And the Bat Whisperer Rod can get up to 3 fish every 30 seconds. So, like, when you have a Bat Whisperer Rod, I don't even see why you would even use this thing. So it's honestly a dookie rod, to be honest. Technically, it's mid, but if you want to compare it to a Bat Whisper, it's literally a dookie. But not everyone obviously got it, so I think in this case it is mid. It's a decent passive if you want a passive catch fish. So there you go. Ethereal Prism. This is like the OG really good rod in fish. It's decent for making money per se. It's not amazing. It's not bad. It's just good. The Sanguine Spire literally has the same mutation chance, but slightly worse. But it also has a pierce, and also I think has progress speed built into it. So I think for that reason alone, it's just a better Ethereal Prism. I don't think I actually talked about the Bat Whisperer Rod. The Bat Whisperer Rod, like I said, is you can get 3 fish every 30 seconds, and it can be anywhere from, I believe, a regular fish all the way up to exotic. I don't think, you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong or not, I don't think it can catch secret fish, but I know it can catch exotic fish. So, again, very strong rod for bestiary and angler. W Rod. Anyway, Rod of the Depths. The Rod of the Depths, actually, I believe is a better money-making rod than both of those combined. Not combined, but they're better. It's better than both of those. Because every 2 fish, you're literally guaranteed to get a 5x mutation. And on top of that, just while you're fishing in general, you just have a 30% chance to get that 5.5x. So that's a stronger mutation, and it's also guaranteed every 2 catches. You might say, well, it's 3. No, no, no. With the mastery of it, you literally can get it every 2 fishes. Again, that's very strong. So for early on, if you're just trying to farm money on some just like regular fish and things, I mean, it's genuinely a really strong rod to use. The only reason why I put the Zeus Rod above it is because when you get the 10% chance to proc for that pool, you quite literally get a guaranteed, well, it's not guaranteed, it's a 90% chance for a 3.5x multiplier. And I mean, if we do the math, okay, over time, you're gonna make more money than the other one because it's not guaranteed. So this is stronger at making money, but technically this has more usage, so this is just depending on what you want. They're interchangeable. Lucid Rod is kind of in that same category. I really should throw the depths above it, and these two should be interchangeable in a way. I don't know. But the Lucid Rod, its biggest thing is that it can dupe up to 3 times, and it dupes a rod. It dupes a fish that has a Lucid mutation, which is a pretty strong passive, but it's not like guaranteed. It's also a lower mutation chance. So, to be honest, the Rod of the Depths should be higher than it. And the Zeus Rod would actually make more money than it. So, on to the next. Astralhook, they just keep gutting this thing. If y'all didn't know, okay, I'm actually going to show y'all this. It is absolutely disgusting how hard they have absolutely gutted this rod. Okay, so they didn't even show the changes they made. But this used to be every 1.3 to like 2.4 seconds, or like 2.3 seconds. It would have a chance to increase by 15%. Now it is 2 to 4 seconds. And the mutations now are very, well, bad. They really made it not that great. But you still can't take away from the fact that this is still strong because it's guaranteed every 4 seconds at a minimum, or maximum, to get a 15% increase to the progress bar, which is, I mean, that's still very strong, and it still can make you a decent amount of money. So overall, I would say that it's better than these rods because it actually has the ability to catch harder fish and actually make you some money. And overall, I think it's better. The Jacko Blazer is literally the Astralhook, but better, and has better mutations. On to the next. This rod, I put it here over them two because overall, I would say, well, if I'm going to say overall, it can make more money, but overall, I think the Jacko Blazer is a more complete rod. This is gimmicky because you have to hit that 70% for the insta-catch to go off. But obviously, if you're catching harder fish, you're not going to get that quickly or very fast. So I would say Jacko Blazer would be better overall because it can make money. It's not the best, not the worst. It's decent. It also can catch whatever fish you want. So I would say this can make you more money, but you can't really catch harder fish that fast. It's not as consistent as this rod, so it goes here. Dusekkar, the Dusekkar rod. I really don't like this rod. but I can't deny the fact that it has the strongest pierce in the game. It has decent stats. The resilience is so high that it makes the pierces hard to even get in the first place, but I digress. It doesn't have infinite weight, which is really stupid. And the Dusekkar Rod is just mediocre at everything, but it's still somewhat consistent if you have pierce on it. So it's kind of a mid rod, but you can't just factor out the fact that it doesn't have a good mutation and really good pierces. So overall, technically, it's a more complete rod than like a Jackal Blazer, because it technically can do more, if that makes sense. But personally, I would use it more, but this is not a non-biased like tier list. So yeah, overall, I think it technically is better, but I don't know. Y'all can let me know in the comments. Personally, I would use it more, and I think it's better than the Dusekkar, but I digress. Sword of Darkness, I mean, I talked about it at the beginning of the video. No Life Rod talked about it. Wingripper, this is just a utility catching rod. I mean, like, that's literally all this is. This is kind of like, if the Cosmic Relic event shows up, you use a Wingripper. Or if you need to catch like a million fish, you use a Wingripper. Its only thing is it catches fish insanely fast. That's literally all it's good for. So. Necrotic Rod. I actually really like this rod, but it's just decent at a lot. Okay, I shouldn't say decent. It's good at everything, but it's not the best at anything. So I don't think it's necessarily strong in some ways. I mean, technically it has good catch speed, but it's also not great at making money. So it's like, it's a sub-meta rod for sure, because it can be good, but I think personally, the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, with its new buffed passive, if you didn't know, it got buffed, which I will show you. I think it's better, because every 2 catches, you're going to be guaranteed a 7x mutation with a 50% weight boost. So just for farming money in general, you're going to make more money with this thing. And if you're catching, I mean, you can catch, to be honest, most of the harder fish in the game with this rod. Technically, you could catch the harder fish. I mean, you're going to get weight caps, and it's not going to be worth as much, but technically, it's more of a money-making rod, let's say, and you also have a 25% chance for that 7x to go off, so overall, it's a more consistent rod, so I think it's more complete overall, and it can do more for you, but if you're looking just to catch things quickly and make money as a secondary option, for you, the Necrotic Rod would be better, but for me, I think the Rod of Forgotten Fang is more useful, because there's just better rods at catching fish quickly and being okay at making money. So we'll get into that more. Tryhard Rod. The Tryhard Rod is essentially, it's just good. Good? Is it good? The Tryhard Rod is, I would say, a gimmick rod. It does have the highest mutation chance in the game. It's also insanely annoying to use. And you can't even catch the harder fish in the game with it without using cryogenic. So it's just, it's gimmicky. So it's sub-meta. If you do some funny setup and get cryogenic, it could technically be really good, but overall it's just sub-meta because it's not consistent enough to be a meta rod. Meta. So, Seraphic Rod. I don't think this needs no introduction. It has 60% Like, you fill up 60% of the bar when you start catching a fish. I mean, that alone is just really strong. And it has a, what, 35% chance to give a 8x, 8.5x mutation, right? Double check. Yeah, 30% chance for an 8.5, and with the mastery, you can get it up to 35%, and you can get more control and an 8% shiny and sparkling chance. The rod's really strong. It's a really good rod, and that's why I have it here. I put this above it, which now reading the passive, I don't know. I would say it's interchangeable depending on what you want to do, but I think the Chrysalis might be slightly better just due to the fact that you have a guaranteed chance for a 4x, and then you have a decent chance for a a decent chance for the 7x mutation, and on top of that, you have that, what, it's like a 20% chance for an eye to spawn, and for you to get a guaranteed 7x with either shiny, sparkling, or both. So overall, you're guaranteed to make money, and it's going to be more consistent, and you're probably going to make more money in the end with it than a Seraphic Rod. Most likely. Luminescent Oath. The only reason why I put this here is because it's basically the Ruinious Oath's, like, little brother. It's the same thing, but he didn't grow up yet. It's literally the same passive as the Ruinious Oath, but it's just way easier to get, and you're weight capped, so you're gonna catch regular fish with it. It's really strong, and it just makes you a lot of money. It's a guaranteed 9x, people. This rod's broken, and they made it easy to get. I mean, it's a W rod. This rod's cracked. Eidolon Pitchfork. The only reason why this rod is even in this tier is because you can get a chance at a 200% weight increase with like a 5x 5x multiplier. So you're looking at, what, a 10x overall mutation? I mean, that's really strong. And then, obviously, if you have Sea Overlord and Sea Prince, it has the highest weight, size, buff, whatever thing in the game. So, if you get lucky, I think could give you the most money on a fish, I think. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Why I put this here is because, for one, it's more consistent than an Evil Pitchfork, and every minute you quite literally can get anything from a legendary up to a secret. So you can farm Scylla's with it. You can farm. I've gotten a Mossripper from it. Apparently you can get cataclysmic fish, but they changed it to Apex for whatever reason. So you can literally farm those fish. Can farm, like I said, Scylla's, Leviathans, Profanes. I mean, the rod's just, it has so much use. And it's really strong. Not to mention, when you do catch those fish with the passive, it gives you Mossy. And the Mossy mutation is an 8.7x, which is one of the highest in the game. So again, every minute, if you do the mastery to get that, okay, you're guaranteed an 8.7x fish. That is insanely strong money making. And the only reason why it's this low is because the rod outside of its passive is, well, it's trash. So, Cerulean Fang and Wicked Fang. These just have such insane slash passives that they need to be, that they're meta. If you need to just grab a rod to catch something and you're really struggling with it, or let's say for admin abuse, you just need to catch something really fast, you're going to use one of these two rods. You're probably going to use Cerulean Fang, though. But don't sleep on the Wicked Fang, because it's still really strong. But either one of these, extremely strong. If you literally have Piercing and, well, the Cerulean Fang passive, you have a 70% chance for a slash every time the fish has a movement opportunity. If you don't know, when the fish moves and it gets slashed, it stays in place for like a second. So it's basically you have a 70% chance to stun the fish and increase the progress bar by either 8 or 6% if you have piercing. Because if you don't know, it has a 40% chance to increase by 8%. It's that strong of a passive, like slash passive. Insanely good rod. Not to mention, these two also got a buff to where this gives the Nova mutation, which is really useful for Leviathan, and this thing gives the Solar Blaze mutation, which also was really good for the Leviathan, because people were really struggling to get Solar Blaze, and I think Nova, so... Also, really good. Deserved meta tier. Onirifalx, it's just good at everything. There's not much to really talk about. It's literally just good at everything. And has a like 40% chance to fill a bar up by like 60%, 50%. Really good. The windelemtanl is essentially the Onirifalx, but better, essentially. The windelemtanl gives you well, depending on where the bar is, it'll increase it by 50% when it's actually like hits the water, and it has a better mutation value, and if it's windy, I think it's the exact same progress speed, and with like slightly worse stats. So for speed catching, the windelemtanl is better, and for making money it's better, but for overall use, the Onirifalx probably is better. But I put it here because it's better than in speed catching. So, and also has better mutations. So yeah. These two rods are almost identical. What really separates them is, for one, the Fallen Snowblade is very strong for speed catching, while the Polaris is, I would say, better overall for money making. During winter, I would say the Fallen Snowblade is better for making money and speed catching, but for basically any other time of the day, well, any other season, sorry, the Polaris is probably better than it, because the stats are so similar. And this also has a thing where every like 30 seconds or like a minute, you'll just get a random quiet fish that sells for like 5x. So it passively fishes for you while you're already fishing up whatever. Really, they're both just really strong. And overall, you just can't go wrong by using either of them. They're both insanely good. Ruinious Oath. It needs no introduction, because I talked about it already. It basically just, if you can hold a fish for more than 3 seconds for the infinite slashes to start going off, and the get the progress increase going, I mean, you literally can catch any fish in the game with it. Like when you start getting those infinite slashes, and it gives you a 9x mutation. I mean, there's nothing more to say about it. It's broken. Dreambreaker, why it's so good is because it has its slashes, and the fact that it gives you, if you use Sea Overlord and Sea Prince, over 100% fish size with an 8.5x mutation multiplier. It just makes you a lot of money, and it has really good slashes. Nothing more to really say about it. It's why it's here. You're most likely gonna make more money with this rod than a Ruinious Oath or any of these other rods. Simple as that. And let's say you can't make it overall. If you're doing something like a Leviathan hunt, Scylla hunt, whatever, this is like what's gonna give you a good aquarium fish. So for that reason alone, it should be here in the meta tier. But anyway, Fabulous Rod, Nate's Rod. Now, these two rods were really hard to rank for me. Because on one side of it, the Fabulous Rod is actually, I would say, better for making money when the passive procs, and that's only if you're using Sea Overlord and Sea Prince or Eerie. But here's the thing. This is an overall tier list. And Nate's Rod, it's a 4x with a guaranteed 150% weight buff, if you're using Sea Prince and Sea Overlord, and it has infinite control with Pierce. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, overall, the Nate's Blade is the best rod in the game, just for doing like whatever. It's guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like, it's really strong. The Fabulous Rod technically has the highest, I would say, catching, like, well, I shouldn't say catching speed, because I will say with progress locked Fisch, there we go. It has the highest catch speed in the game, and has the highest money potential in the game. But, like, as an overall rod, just as, like, pure consistency, Nate Rod's better. And these two are really, like, interchangeable, to be honest. Like, either or of them is, I would say, like, the best in the game. How I use them personally is if I'm catching, like, regular fish, then I'm using Nate's Rod. If I'm catching, like, hunts fish, I'm using a Fabulous Rod, because this has a higher money potential than Nate's Rod. So, that's my tier list. If you guys have any thoughts, opinions, comments, whatever, let me know. But to me, this is my tier list, and I hope that it helps. Yeah, hope y'all are going all right. Peace.